talk about the art of making money with your mind. I think if you can develop this skill set, this will be the greatest way for you to make money on God's green earth. This is something I did not know about. I was just kind of messing around with it in 2009. I wrote my first book, and this whole thing, if I knew what I know today, I would have made way more money back then. But I was just playing around with it. I was experimenting with it. I didn't really have an understanding of what I was doing. So I created a blog, and the blog wasn't getting many hits. Then I wrote the book, put the book on the blog, wasn't getting any sales. Then I put YouTube, I started doing storage auction stories. I deleted a lot of those early videos because I wanted to try to change the tone of the channel. Didn't make any difference. But I was talking about storage auctions exclusively in the videos. Then when I started the YouTube channel, that was the game changer. First day, I did a YouTube video and directed traffic to my blog. I did 200 views. After a month of doing YouTube and directing traffic to the blog, I was at close to 1,000 views a day on the blog. And ultimately, when the blog got to its highest level, I was doing about 275, 300,000 views a month on the blog. As my views increased, my sales went up. And I will tell you, the first time I experienced mental money, it was that first weekend that I released the book and I started to get sales.
So we have the money management bundle. We got that. Then we have more books. We've got, well, it's $1 for these books now because I had to put $1 so they would show up in the playlist. Then we have here we go. The Savage lawsuit, how to file, win, and collect without an attorney. Savage. Then we have The Motherfucker Principle. It's a free book, but it's $1. So go ahead and grab that. Then we have Unlocking the Secrets to Making Millions with a Small YouTube Channel. Dope ass book. Go ahead and get that. Then we have, this was supposed to be free, but I needed to make $1 so I could put it in there. Uncover the investment lie. Discover the truth behind successful investing and avoid common pitfalls. All right. Then we have, oh, this is a killer book. Discover the secrets to a lasting marriage. Things that you need to talk about before you marry your boo. Savage Money, Unlocking the Secrets of Aggressive Money Management. Very good book. Will help you manage your money a lot better than you are managing it now. Become a sales god. Learn how to sell the right things to the right people. This book is all about sales. Things you need to do to learn how to sell stuff better. More for you. And let's see. And we got 2 more books. Unlock the Secrets of Permissionless Management. This is how to hire people. Why most people should not be hired and how to hire the people you should hire. And Permissionless Wealth. How to build multiple businesses at the same time. A process that I'm working on right now. These are books you can get if you can't afford the courses. So right now, go ahead and check those out.
And that first sale, now I was selling the book for $19.95. It could have been $1 million. I was so happy. I was really, really happy to go from, because I was a resale guy. I would buy storage units, get the contents, then divide the contents up and sell them on eBay, Amazon, and Craigslist. This was the first time in my life I made money from my mind. And it was intoxicating. It was really, really intoxicating. So I kept doing that. And around Christmas time, was that $2,000 to $3,000 a month consistently. Then we'll go to June, May and June, was that $4,000 to $5,000 a month consistently. And I was selling, and this was a good thing. One of the things I hated about the storage auction business, I hated it. I would get a good unit and run out of stuff and have nothing else to sell. That just used to irk me, because you buy the unit, it's like you just knew. I bought this one unit at U-Haul in Buckhead. Had this creamy, buttery leather sofa and love seat. I knew that was gonna sell. I posted that sucker on Craigslist, and I looked it up. The sofa and love seat was selling for $20,000 online. I listed that bad boy for $5,000 for both on Craigslist. Sold within an hour. That unit literally sold in one day. I paid maybe $750 for it. And we did about $38,000 off of that unit. It went really, really quick. So to have a product that comes from your mind that you can sell over and over and over again, it was intoxicating. It really was intoxicating. So I did this, and I couldn't go back to just doing the regular thing. Like right now, I have a jewelry business, and it's kind of the same thing. And really, what I'm thinking about doing is putting the jewelry business on pause, and I'll explain to you why. First of all, I have to manage that business. I have to be there. I have to manage. I have to go buy stuff and all this other stuff. And this week I told my employees that, hey, I'm thinking about doing something different, and there's no reason for you to come in. It was a hard decision, but yesterday I was in bed all day because it was a really hard decision. You don't want to tell people they don't have a job, but today I feel much better about it, because the thing is, that part of the business isn't making money. Essentially, like this morning I woke up, I had about $1,500 in sales, right? That wouldn't have covered payroll for this week. That wouldn't have covered payroll. So I had to ask myself, okay, the whole thing with Whatnot, we had a lot of issues with Whatnot. Number one, when we were fully optimized, it was working. We got to $1,000 a day. That worked. The business was paying for itself. Then something happened to me. Then something happened to one of my employees who was attacked, and she was the star seller, and literally she just couldn't come in. And the way Whatnot works is it rewards you for consistency, but we were very inconsistent, and our sales have not been the same as they were a few months ago. They just haven't been the same. And I'm just sitting there like, do I just pause this for a minute, like 3 months, to give myself a break? Because the thing is, I have to be there. I have to manage. I have to buy stuff. And it's just money's going down. And I'm just sitting there like, okay, my first premise worked. And I'll tell you, the big issue is staffing. It's very hard to get people who want to come in. I get people, like a new person I hired, she was late, and then she wanted to leave early. And the thesis I have to make it Whatnot work is to run 12-hour shifts. And when we're running 12-hour shifts, we make money. But that's been the issue. So I'm thinking about just pausing this for about maybe 3 months, just to give myself time to get myself together and to stack some cash. Because the payroll, I would do it completely differently. Like, I have a lot of information, and I'm going to put out an email letting folks know. Because seriously, this is the first resale business that doesn't make money like my other resale businesses. The employee put some stuff on Facebook, and we sold more stuff on Facebook than we did on Whatnot. So that could be an avenue, potentially, we will see. But essentially, I got to make money because essentially I have one business that makes money, and I'm taking that money and I'm moving it into this business that's just costing money. So I got to rethink that, and I got to sit down and really talk to people about it. But this kind of brings me back to middle money. 2020, with an assistant, I had a full-time assistant, I was able to make $3 million from home. $3 million from home. I was making NFL player, base pay players. I was making NBA money. I was making NFL money. Working from home, I wasn't working 40 hours a week. I was working maybe 20 hours a week. I had tons of free time. I had a lot of money. And I started thinking about this because with me doing the multiple engine income thing, the time I'm like working 7 days a week, and this business could make money, but it's not making money the way we're doing it. So we got to rethink that. So one of the things that I'm thinking about doing is like literally just giving myself a month off, just because working 7 days a week and doing all this other stuff, because with mental money, I just don't have these situations. And essentially, redoing the business, I will make sure that I have all staff hired before I even start. Because that's the key. That's the key. And finding employees who will show up consistently, that's been the hard part. Literally, people want to make their money. I was paying $25 an hour. But people are not aware that the sales are not lining up with the money I'm paying. And I had to make a command decision. Look, we need to do something a little different because this isn't working out the way that I hoped. Because staffing, that's the biggest problem, hiring staff and having people come in consistently. Like the employee who got attacked, that wasn't her fault. I can't hold that against her. I don't blame her for it. She literally had someone attack her and she got a concussion. But this brings me back to mental money. Like this morning, I woke up to a sale for mental money. And then I did a video on the other channel talking about how the controversy of Anton Daniels, not talking about Anton Daniels, but how the controversy shows that black folks will remain poor because folks like controversy. Which brings me to mental money. Now, this is a conversation I had with ChatGPT. ChatGPT was recommending what kind of YouTube channels you guys could start, right? And then I pushed back. I was like, those channels don't make money. Essentially, to create a YouTube channel that would make $1,000 to $5,000 a month in the next 90 days, you got to create a channel that's teaching people how to do some stuff. And I think that's the biggest hurdle because I look at myself. I've done a lot of stuff in my life. I started multiple businesses. I've written about 30 books. My dating life, I created my own dating app, Craigslist protocol. I've done a lot of stuff that I could package up and sell. Because we're getting ready to do something very, very different with Disruptive Mail. And I'm just sitting here thinking, okay, maybe give myself a month or two off and then get $30,000 in the bank and then go at this thing a totally different way because we got like 255 sales. Because the big issue with Whatnot is how you get paid. And this is one of the things that slows you down. The way Whatnot works today is you have to have 1,000 sales to get paid once you print up a shipping label, right? We have 255. So essentially what happens is you buy inventory, you pay staff, you ship, then 4 hours after shipping, that's when you get paid. That whole waiting list is a big issue. And I think with TikTok, it's worse. So if you're not like seriously capitalized, it can be hard to grow on these platforms for you to do it. Because once you get to that point where you got your 1,000 sales, you put up a shipping label, then you instantly get paid. Then it's like, okay, you have a day where you do like say 2,000, you put up the shipping labels, you get $2,000 in your bank account in a few days. But the way Whatnot currently works, you buy inventory, you rent space, you sell stuff, and then once you ship it out, and one of the ways to cheat was to take the stuff to the post office by the airport, which gets it shipped out much quicker. But that whole, you gotta wait until they get it, and then they get paid 4 hours after they receive it. So you're like waiting on getting paid maybe, the post office 2 to 3 days. And then, after that, it starts to stack up. But that's kind of the big issue with Whatnot. And I see why a lot of people struggle with Whatnot, because it's the getting paid issue that's a problem. And like, I'm really, really looking at redoing it and just setting it up totally differently. And like I said, give myself probably give myself 3 months off, then get back to it, keep the office. Because the thing is, the office isn't killing me. Literally, the office rent is like 2 days of payroll. So, yeah, 2 days of payroll, that's my office rent. And I can use the office for this business as well. But it brings me back to minimum money. Like, I did not leave my house yesterday because I was feeling bad about what I had to do with the business. And then I wake up this morning, $1,500 like that, and I didn't leave the house. Now, that $1,500 would not be enough to, let me do the math on this and calculate payroll really quick, because this is the biggest issue. So we got, $450, 3 people times 3. That's $1,350 a week. And then plus 600 plus 600. So weekly payroll is $2,550 Monday through Friday. Then we add another $150 for Saturday. $255 plus $150. We're at $2,700 a week plus 7%. So we're at $2,900 times 4. Payroll is $11,556. Now, here's the thing that's crazy. My personal expenses for me to live here and everything, I spend around $6,000. To pay rent, I live here, pay. So my payroll is twice my living expenses, plus you got to buy the jewelry to sell. So we're looking at monthly cost of, I would say, $18,000 to run. Now, if the business was doing $18,000, that would be cool. If we were making enough to pay the bills, I'd be cool. But once again, one of the things that's happened is we were not able to consistent, and that's the thing that kills you with Whatnot. When we're being really consistent and fully optimized, we had a $950 day, we had a $1,000 day, then we were going up to about $1,200. But Whatnot punishes you when you take long layoffs. They punish the shit out of you, because you would think that you would like go back and start where you left. No. Literally, when you take a long layoff, you're starting from scratch all over again. So in my mind, this is what I'm thinking of doing. Taking maybe 3 months off, then start it up again with a full staff. Have everyone hired before we even do the first Whatnot show. That meant morning shift, evening shift, and weekend people. Have everyone in place, so the first week we can roll out hard and heavy and keep that up, and then I would go ahead and hire some extras. Now, what's making this possible, like, with me having to manage that, it's kind of pulling me back from the online course business. And I didn't realize how much of a luxury I had when I was doing only the online course business, because to make millions of dollars from your house, that's hip as shit, right? So like $1,500 a day, and I didn't leave the house. And with me writing all these books, let's say next month, I may do $12,000 in book sales. And this is the key thing. I understand to create an operation, to build out a business, it's going to cost money. That's not the issue. The issue is how much money it's costing, and we don't have the sales. So I told them, like, give me a week to figure it out. I think I've got it figured out. And then, like I said, 2-3 months in the future, I'll come back, because at that point, what's going to happen is my book sales will be $12,000 to $15,000 per month, right? And then I will have course sales and other things. So I will have enough money to pay my personal bills, because I have to pull money out of account. I have not touched that account in 5 years. I've just been putting money in that account. I had to touch that account because of what happened this year, and I'm just sitting there like, and I didn't like that. I didn't like that at all. I didn't like that at all. So I'm getting ready to focus on mental money really, really hard and heavy, and get that going the way that I used to, because once I get it rectified and set up the way I want to, we're like at $35,000 to $50,000 a month on a consistent basis. And this is me doing it the new way, because YouTube doesn't work the way that it used to. YouTube is still a big source of free traffic, but you got to be really peculiar. And this is why I have started all these new YouTube channels that only speak about one thing and nothing else, because that will kill you. That's what killed this channel. That's what killed the larger channel, because I have all of these different topics on that channel. And I'm thinking about going through and deleting a lot of the older videos because no one's watching them. Part of me thinks about doing that and just starting over. Then part of me is like, I don't know if I want to hide that history. So I'm still thinking about it. But with mental money, it's intoxicating to wake up. Like this morning, there was a sign. Because normally I don't get morning sales. Most of my sales happen between 9 p.m. and 2 o'clock in the morning. I will wake up and I'll see these sales signals. I'm like, what is? So that was the first time I had a sale in the morning. So what we're doing is Sunday trainings on how to do YouTube. And this Sunday, I'm going to do how to make your thumbnail, because that's one of the things you should do first. And we'll talk about that and other stuff. But mental money is intoxicating. It is really intoxicating, where you can make in a month what the average person makes in a year working from home. It's more impossible. I've done it for several years. And this new stuff is coming out. And let me tell you, the way I'm doing this new thing is the new thing's not going to disappear, because one of the big issues I had was I was dealing with internet black folks who really will get a raise. And this is why I had all these Think of It profiles and stuff. I'm not doing that. The Think of It profile I have now, that's it. That's going to be the only Think of It profile that I will have. And that's going to be the only thing that I'm going to do. And that's going to be the only way that I'm going to go. There will be no more new stuff. There will be new courses and stuff on the old Think of It profile, because literally I would make courses and they would sell, and then they'll just stop. And then I would have to come up with something else, come up with something else, come up with something else. But because I have these new YouTube channels that are in dedicated lanes, I'm not going to have that issue anymore. So we will be able to, I would say by September, October, I should be at 100K a month easy. And it's just a matter of building it up. Because the thing is, what you have to do, if you will notice, I'm having the book commercials. Why am I having the book commercials? Because anyone can afford $35, $55, because books range from $25 up to $150. Anyone can buy that. They may not have to drop, $1,500 for a course, but they can buy books. And, rest in peace, Alan Roger Curry. Alan made a living off selling his books. That's how he lived for years. So, a lot of people say, well, do people buy books? Absolutely. Everybody ain't some ignorant ass internet black person who doesn't want to read and don't want to improve themselves. So I have a lot of books coming up. I got something special coming up for Disruptive Mail. I'm working on that. And then by September, like I said, I should be at 125K a month pretty easily. And this is March. So we got April, May, June, July, August. Yeah, 6 months in the future. So we'll be at 100K a month. Then I can go ahead and get these other businesses started and not have, because like I said, it bothered me that I had to pull that money out of that account. It bothered the shit out of me. But once again, we've been having all these mishaps. If we could have like literally stayed on point from day one, we'd probably be at $2,000 to $3,000 of sales a day. But number one, and this is the big issue, I had an internet black person working for me. She got caught up in some rah-rah stuff, and she just quit because she didn't want to do what I was paying her to do. So once again, internet black person will cut off their own nose, the thumbnail. They're just really, really hard to work with. Really, really hard to work with. And at the expense, I have two really good employees, and it's going to be a risk to lose them because I'm like, look, you know, you got to go out and find other stuff. In about 2 or 3 months, I'll be ready to do this again. I don't know if you would be available. I don't know if you would trust this, but it's like literally, I need to stack some money and stop going into my reserve account. That, like I said, that just bothered the shit out of me. And part of it is we've been having all these, you know, it's just the weirdest things that keep happening, you know? It's like, what the hell's going on? And once again, I will have a different hiring protocol. I would literally get the thing set up totally differently. And pretty much I will hire everyone before I actually start running shows. That's going to be the thing that I will do really, really differently this time. Because I will hire people to start running shows, and I wasn't able to get fully optimized. So we will see what happens and how this goes. But when you're doing mental money, like I said, it's intoxicating. It's just intoxicating. And once I get to, let's say, I have to look. I think I got like 7 books. I think I'm probably going to write 7 more books, especially about the holding company stuff. Create books about that and price them out. And then literally, let's say I have 20 books and I sell 5 a day. And, you know, 25, that's $125 a day. That's easy money. And then, you know, there's a lot of stuff. Because like I said, I literally have a bunch of brand new channels. And the new channels are performing at a higher level than the older channels because the audience isn't mixed. So this is one of the big things I've learned. But once again, we've got YouTube training. This Sunday, we're going to be working on thumbnails, how to create your thumbnail and how to set that up. And should you put your face on the thumbnail? It kind of depends upon your niche. Or should you use AI? Because I'm doing AI stuff, but I find the videos that have my face on it do much better. So we will see. We will see. We will see how this goes. But that's the thing. Once you get into mental money, things are vastly different, man. They are way, way different. So this month, because I'm going to focus on mental money, today is the 17th. We got 14 more days in the month. Good focus. I may do 20,000 between now and the end of the month. But focusing on this. That's incredible money for someone who literally was at a crossroads because I didn't understand how sick I was. Now I understand how sick I was, and that played a role in me getting to the point where I didn't know what the hell I was going to do with myself. Now I'm like, okay, I can write books. I could, you know, so now the game plan is much deeper. But yeah, that's what's going on, and that's what we're doing on. So in this video, there's a book commercial, and the books, because I'm pushing the books really, really hard. Because everyone can afford the books, because the price point is easy for most people. And parts of me is thinking about repricing the books, but we'll see how that goes after this week. But mental money, and this is the whole, the breadth of the intellectual property school. Number 1, YouTube, so you can get traffic. Number 2, how to write a book so you have something to sell. Number 3, develop a course. After you've developed your niche, after you sold some books, then develop a course. And then if you want to, you can develop a podcast. And the coaching can be somewhat exhaustive because it takes you. because I have some coaching people that I'm doing, and it's rough. It's rough. But once again, I made a promise to these people, so I show up every day, and that's going to be a big source, because that was like 10 people. That was like 15,000 right there. And then that just came in. That just came in after I had to pull the money out of my source. So we will see. We will see. Because essentially, I'm in a position where I want to stack money. I want to go into the next version of the jewelry business with at least 35,000. Immediately go buy $5,000 worth of silver, hire people, and get it rocking and rolling like that. And I think if I'm fully optimized, the business will literally start paying for itself in 2 weeks. If I'm fully optimized. But that's the big trick. That's the big trick. Hiring people and getting this thing fully optimized. So we will see how this goes. All right, so if you want to actually learn how to do YouTube, if you want to actually learn how to write a book, if you want to learn how to put together an online course, go below and enroll in the intellectual property school, and we'll see you in class.